All right. Hello and welcome, Eddie, Sophia, to Not Your Thoughts. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you, sir, for having me. Appreciate the invitation.
Yeah. I was going to start today by pretending this isn't round two, but I'd feel like a fraud if I did that. So thank you for coming in again.
No
I
problem.
honestly appreciate it. We had some technical difficulties the first time, but it wasn't
Yeah.
any of the hardware. So, no, honestly, thank you for coming back, man. I appreciate it. How are you?
Good. It's
Good.
good to be back.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Excited for round two.
Yeah, exactly, mate. And now let's get a bit more structure in it. So I actually want to get into your world, get into the things you do, and just kind of how you think about the creative media realm, business realm. These are the things, the ways I know you, basically.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm interested to hear. So good place to start is just what is cinematography? It's such a broad term. Yeah, what is it? And I guess what's your role at Australian cinematography?
Yeah. Good question about cinematography. I mean, to us, it's just the basic understanding of cinema.
Okay.
The idea of capturing something beautifully behind the lens and, creating moments out of that to be reshared and in a beautiful way, as creatively as possible.
Yeah, yeah.
And then cinematography as the business is, just trying to do that and make money out of it.
Yeah, fair enough. Exactly right.
In all essence, yeah.
Is there like different types, or it's always kind of, it just depends? The client essentially has a vision first, and you bring it to life while adding your kind of expertise of creativity on it. Is that so? I guess how creative do you get? Is it storytelling in terms of cinematography, or is it more advertisements of like prestige? You know what I mean? Is there more like how would I say it? And I love that there's music in the background, but like fictional kind of thing, huh?
Can we hear that music?
I don't know. Wait, hold on. Oh, wait.
Okay.
Wait. Shh. Sorry, guys. We have to know. Nah, it's not moving.
No.
That's so unfortunate. You guys are missing out.
We got this background rock music just rocking in the back of our heads.
Copyright free.
Giving us this buzz.
Oh man, welcome to Not Your Thoughts. No, but yeah, man. So I guess, yeah.
There's all of that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
There's literally all of it. You can add your storytelling expertise as willingly as the client has given you the opportunity to.
Yeah.
And most of the people that we deal with, that's why they go with us, because we are giving them our storytelling expertise through a lens. For others, bigger clients, especially when it gets to very corporate, in specific for ads, and where they're spending a lot of money for ad placement, they've got exactly the idea of what they want, how they want it to look.
Oh, so you're almost...
that's where you're kind of limited in your creative abilities.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting, because I've always made that exact point in terms of working in construction management. So I've come from a very corporate, high-level company to a also high-level company, but it doesn't have the corporate element to it. But it's also not that high level, you know what I mean? But exact same scenario where at this new place, because it has somewhat less rigidity, I feel like I get to express myself creatively there in the way I manage things. Whereas the other place, it's this cold corporate beast, but it's a fucking machine. It's like literally a machine. It's a well-oiled machine. So I feel like it reminded me of that, because that's exactly what you said, where when you're in that corporate realm, you're going, but there's no creativity allowed, which is sometimes good, sometimes bad. I don't know. But I'm happy with where I'm at the moment.
You still have to, perform in your creative abilities in the sense of reflecting or, getting done what they've asked for.
Of course.
That's still a test of your creative abilities too. So that is a test and a challenge for us at the same time as we are experts in that.
And the
so
art is bringing it to life as well. Like, they have the idea, but you're manifesting it literally.
Yeah, and that's still the beauty of doing those corporate level jobs.
True.
Or corporate's a broad term to use, but more so the ad placement, high level.
More of an entity you're dealing with almost.
Yeah, like massive. For example, like advertising companies, like the ads that you see on the trams and stuff with JC Deco. When you do work for brands of that type of nature.
Yeah, and that's honestly, like, to jump in, like, a big thing I admire you for is like we're mates, but
Yeah.
So you can have mates, but also view them like impartial to the mate. So I view you as like an audience of the page. I'm like, fuck, these guys are like, the words genuinely prestige when I think of it, or grandeur. I got it from Rick and Morty. That one.
I love
straight
that.
out, like it. So I really enjoy watching you guys from a distance. So it's good hearing the inside of like, yeah, you are dealing with these high level companies, have their own creativity, but at the end of the day, money pushes shit, and they're willing to pay the fucking big bucks that allow you to express the creativity to even begin with. So that's fucking mad, yeah.
Yeah, like
It's cool you're in that.
yeah, the business has transitioned from doing a lot more creative stuff, even though we still do, and we're very creative with everything we do. But in terms of the clientele and the cash flow that we want for the business to operate in a healthy way, you do need to have corporate clients like that under your belt, just to keep the machine well oiled.
Yeah, yeah. And that kind of flows into like, if you didn't have the corporate machine or any financial constraint, is there places you would take it more from a creativity element? Like what can you do with it? You know what I mean?
And that's the question with this, is what can you do with it? I mean, the possibilities are almost endless. But at the same time, when you start exploring those possibilities, you find unexpected obstacles.
Yeah.
But yeah, even in that sense, I mean, I'd love to just keep doing more creative stuff with bigger companies.
Yeah. And get better at your craft, essentially.
I mean, through cinema or telling a story through a camera, it's and the way that it's reflected in the editing process, it's something that put me into this business. It's something that brought me into this business. So I definitely don't want to stop doing that. And that's
awesome.
Just doing it with more creativity, bigger teams. For example, shooting movies. That has less constraints. That's
So do you? And
that's the dream.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you prefer, or not prefer, but do you kind of? And it seems you do gravitate towards the logistical side of the business as well. Like, is that?
Yeah, I mean that's essentially my role.
Yeah.
The logistics and the execution of it all.
Yeah. The pragmatic kind of. A to B.
Yeah. I mean, I love to let my creative juices flow, but at the same time, I'm kind of limited in that sense, just with my personality. I'm only limited in the sense where I can't. If I hit a wall, I struggle to bring my attention back to something. And it might come from ADHD or whatever it is, but it's good to have a business partner that is constantly just thriving with energy, whether it's creative energy or just the way he bounces off walls. I mean,
this is Liam, correct?
Anyone that knows Liam will know that he's just.
I saw that. I didn't know that was him. I saw him recently in that clip.
Yeah. You could just from a little clip,
his
you
laugh
can
made
see.
That, man. Yeah, exactly.
You could
I
see
didn't
how
know that was
energetic
him,
he is.
but you three had a very good dynamic. I really liked that. That was nice.
Yeah, and the other chick was Jess. She works with us very closely, like ever since we started our modelling side of the business.
Oh yeah, true.
She was one of the first ones that helped us.
Yeah.
Get that boat flowing, so it was good.
No, and that's honestly like a whole branch, the modelling side, which is like also prestige. You know what I mean? Seriously. So
thanks, I appreciate that. To me, it doesn't feel like that just yet. I mean, we are trying to get it. Over time, especially, we do want it to become more of a household name where whenever someone thinks of any sort of I don't know. I'm
media
right now.
kind of thing.
Yeah, media kind of thing. They think of Australian cinematography, Australian models. Like it's just those. We chose those names on purpose.
Exactly. You've claimed the name that everyone's trying to claim, but now you're working up to kind of capture
live
the
up
name,
to the
you know
name.
what I mean?
Yeah,
exactly. So it's a very not specific but accurate name of where you're trying to take it, which is fucking sick.
Yeah. Well, at the start, we actually couldn't find the domain. We couldn't purchase the name. Like someone owned it.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Wait. So can you have two Australian cinematographies? Right.
Oh yeah. There's like you can change a couple letters at the end.
Yeah. So what do you mean domain? Sorry.
Like purchasing the website.
Oh, of course. Sorry,
someone else owned that name, even though they didn't own any business with that name.
They just claimed
it. They just had the domain,
It was an idea.
Because you remember
they never got off concept.
Yeah. You know how heaps of people bought domains to make money because they knew, that word might be valuable later.
I didn't realize that. That's genius, bro.
At the time when we first started, we offered, we messaged the guy and he said $5,000. And we're like, nah, like we've just started. No way.
Yeah, true.
No way.
No way, bro.
Yeah, and then we agreed. Liam and I agreed that after a few years, once we do have the $5,000, then all good. We'll purchase it.
Yeah.
It was maybe 2 years later. The name was available. I think he forgot to renew it or something.
Of course, yeah, that's awesome.
So we just pinched it for the normal domain cost.
I like that, man. And bro, that's where I've been thinking as well with the podcast. So now I just need to pump it out right now. I just need episode. That's all I need to put mindset. But I'm excited to hopefully make it an entity where if finance does come from it, I want to pump it back into this. I want to get another camera. I want to but I can put money now, but it's also, I've put enough. So now I need to get the behavioral kind of flow going, and then maybe start pumping money in it again, or hopefully in time it starts kind of sustaining itself. Do you know what I mean? But for now, it's just like get the content out is where my head's at.
Well, yeah, that's how it was for us, And if you're thinking along that way, then I think you're on the right track.
Yeah,
I mean, we worked for free basically for the first 4 years.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
literally
awesome,
for free.
yeah.
We're pumping money from our own part-time jobs to fund it, while we're doing free projects for businesses, trying to show our creative juices, show
self-promo.
Yeah,
exactly.
Obviously, we were charging clients after the first couple of years, but we kept reinvesting the money. I mean, even to this day, we still reinvest the money. We upgrade our gear, we upgrade our teams. We get more staff on payroll. Just constantly expanding the team.
Well, ultimately, you're providing a product and a good product. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So eventually, it's like, hey, this is what these cost. You know what I mean? So
I mean, even though the product has to be good, it's also about the service that you provide. I mean, in the sense of communication with your clients, your professionalism, your execution on your promises, your turnaround times. Like,
can I just say you are great at responding? Like, I fucking really appreciate it. Yeah, like it's so easy to just be accurate and concise, and then give the information so the other can use the information. Yeah. So, like, 100%. And you're fucking bang on with that. So from a business perspective, how it works, honestly.
One of my friends actually.
It's a very good point you make.
Yeah, one of my friends actually hates that with me. He's like, Eddie, man, sometimes you got to just sugarcoat some things sometimes.
Okay, back to me. You mentioned personality earlier. Is there a personality type, like, that you need to kind of be in the position you're in, or what is it about your personality you feel like that makes you good for it? Is it this kind of sugarcoat it, brother? Like,
I don't know, man. That's a good question. Like, it's I think it's a whole bunch of things. Fuck, man. It's a really deep question. Yeah. That's like, it could be so many things.
Well, to be honest, I think it's like just solid communication, and some personality types kind of lean into communicating quicker. I don't know if that even makes sense.
That's changed for me as well. There's something, especially earlier on, I wasn't really a people person, but when I set my goals, I figured out, I have to start with my end goals and kind of work my way back.
Nice.
And figure out the steps to get there. And one of the first things was literally just talking to people and networking.
Yeah. I like that.
And dude, I was like, I was really switched on, but I was just afraid of talking to people. I fucking hated it.
Yeah. Well, I never needed to. I never had a need to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But for me, I did. My parents had a restaurant on Lygon Street. That kind of forced me talking to people, and then obviously, with my development in my career, I had to teach myself too. I started going to networking events. I read books on, just talking to people, making friends. And just got better and better at that. So communication is definitely one of them. And I learned it pretty recently that when I was a big procrastinator. So I learned, like, maybe a few years ago, it was someone that I was working with in real estate at the time. And I saw the way that he just absolutely buzzed and got his work done then and there. So every time he had a phone call, every time he had something that was doable in that moment, he did it in that moment. Like, he never put it on a to-do list and said, okay, I'll set a time to do all of this tomorrow. It was just like, if it's right there, if I can do it and knock it out of the way, it's being done right now.
That's when I know I'm flowing at work.
Yeah.
When I'm in this, like, heightened kind of, the task is kind of picking you up and you're moving and you're just like,
Yeah, and
I'm just gonna fucking do it.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna do it.
It
Bang.
flows on to
bang,
the next
bang.
one.
Yeah, literally. Like
It's really good.
but I'm not always in that state though. It's definitely highs and lows. You know what I mean?
And that's
like,
it. Like you do have to choose times of the day to set aside. Like, because I wasn't a person that really liked to socialize. Like when I do socialize, my energy's so depleted at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people can agree with that. You know,
I don't get. Does extroversion exist? Like, who
Well, yeah.
Doesn't everyone get tired after being around people?
100%.
I'm like, shell. Like, bro, isn't that like very?
Yeah.
Whereas like they're like extroverts feel alive after encountering people. Like, I didn't get it. Like,
Well,
you're
know, just like now, we're having fun of social conversation.
Yeah, but you're exerting energy as well. You know what I mean? Like,
but we're still enjoying this conversation. But right after we're done, I'm going to have to sit in my car for half an hour and just debrief with myself.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But
or just enjoy the drive, put some music on. You know, enjoy my own headspace.
Being alone is mutually exclusive from not enjoying the company of the other person. They're
100%.
unlinked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
And I feel like in those times when you're doing that, you're kind of recharging.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
exactly.
I actually feel like different energy flows
I think
coming
Osho
through.
says that he goes, when you're in a state of love, you have like a build-up of love and you're giving. You're in a state of giving. But then once you've like depleted that love, you kind of go inwards for the solitude to build it up. And then it's kind of like, it's
then you got more to give.
Exactly, But you need that, I don't know, you need a kind of, you need a, I don't know. I already made the point, so I think I'm just going in a circle. I think. Anyway. So
and now we're back.
Oh, shit. So before we move off from clients, though, is there a certain type of client that you don't like dealing with, or is there certain personality? Like, what's a shit client to have?
Shit clients would be the ones that don't communicate properly.
True. Yeah. That's a really good point.
Those ones are painful because, especially with our service, I mean, we're always holding on to storage of gigabytes and gigabytes of sorry, I should say terabytes of data for clients, and if they're not going to move on with the project, then we're still storing that, and we have to pay for hard drives, and we have to we're holding.
Surely you can just add that into the contract.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, fair enough,
we build them for a hard drive as well, so they're gonna hold on to their own data.
That's really smart. Yeah, or you can say, from a year past the point we're done. If you don't do it, then see you later. You know what I mean? So you give them like a window almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we give them a couple months.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. Even better. That's fucking way better. That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, because
what's
the point of us holding on to it? Like, we're not going to use it for anything else later.
Exactly, yeah. And if they're not proceeding within that, like 3-4 months, if that, it's like...
Yeah, and it's really odd that someone will contact you about something from so long ago, but you do get that.
Yeah.
And those are the people that are really annoying. When you say, we should have taken your data when we told you to take your data.
Exactly,
you know?
Yeah.
And now they're coming back a few months later and they're like, it's gone, it's literally deleted.
Yeah. Do you follow much of the like cinematographer, not influencers, but there's like personalities on it as well. Do you feel like they're very, gotcha, these are the things you need to do? Like there's a lot of that kind of personality happening online. Like, stop. Don't scroll for the next 3 seconds. Like, I'll give you the next 3 things. Like, I don't know if I'm bagging it or not, but do you notice that that's like a, and I don't know where I'm going with this. I didn't write it down. Are you noticing social media all turning into one personality? I feel like I am, and I feel like I kind of also need to jump on the train because it does get views. Like, I don't know what's going on though. I
was actually thinking about that on the way here. I swear that's so funny that you asked me. Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's good that you didn't write this question down.
No, that's awesome. Fuck yes.
Yeah, nice.
But
I was just thinking about it. I was like, when you're scrolling on Instagram and you're thinking about like, what's the type of content that I have to put out in order to attract attention to my page and just build my brand. It's you have to kind of copy the trend.
Exactly, yeah.
And
you have to jump into the wave of algorithm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's fucking already flying. You're like, woo, whoa.
And that's something that we look into as well, especially when we take care of clients that we're creating social media content for them. We have to think about the type of content we're creating so it does do well for them on the algorithm.
Yeah. Can we say that one little trick you told me last time about the subtitles?
Yeah, what did I tell you?
If you're hearing this, wait, at the end we said, anyway, I might cut this. No, it wasn't even a big deal. But you said sometimes clients, or you, I don't know if it came from you or the client, but you intentionally made subtitles spelled incorrect sometimes.
Yes.
Because it added like a, an engagement essentially. Like, people like, wait, that word has a alligator.
Free tip for everyone listening.
Tip. Yeah, exactly. So honestly, after you told me that, I'm very OCD about getting it right, but I also use the.
I actually have to give the credit to Liam on this one.
Okay, fuck you.
Yeah, I watched the video that.
You would have been like, no, it's spelled incorrect.
And and that's a funny thing because I'm the grammatically correct person, and Liam always misspell things.
He's like, let the art flow.
Yeah. So man, I'm always on his case about his spelling, right? So when that video was posted, I saw it on TikTok, and it was buzzing. The video was buzzing for our client. And straight away I texted Liam. I'm like, dude, how the hell did you release a video with the content like misspelt words? And he's like, go look at the comments. I'm looking at the comments. Everyone's commenting about the misspelled word.
Yeah, that's.
And people are having an argument about it. It's getting like top comment on there, most likes. I'm like, geez, like that is something that comes to your attention when you are watching something. Because you're so used to everything being perfect or everything looking the same or everything looking good.
Yeah.
And then you notice something that's out of the ordinary, and it just catches your attention.
Exactly.
It could be anything that's out of the ordinary. Just put an ordinary frame in front of someone. And put something that's out of ordinary in that frame, and you've caught their attention.
Yeah. Did he intentionally put it, or because mine I used the like AI whatever one where it just hears it, and it happened once, but it was too late to delete the video. It's on one of them actually.
Yeah.
It swapped the word in that like technically it sounded like the word, but the new word was funny in that like phrase. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did that happen, or did he intentionally know that like, all right, this was it a funny
word?
Or
So
just, like,
with the AI, it does.
It just captures,
It captures. It also it doesn't pick up every word. So we do review everything that we before we publish anything.
True.
So he would have cleaned out everything and then left a couple or one.
Yeah.
And that was enough to catch people's attention on the video.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. So it's things like that we encourage with our clients to look for things that don't necessarily reflect well with their brand, but they still do. Like, I mean, it's not something that puts them out of, like
off theme kind of thing.
Yeah, like it doesn't lose audience.
Yeah, true.
It's not something that would be controversial.
Unless
in a sense,
Unless it's an app for spelling good. Then it's slightly off. Yeah. Slightly off brand.
Could promote that. Yeah.
It's like Elevate with an I or something.
Yeah.
But
more so with like brands that also always show themselves as professional.
True.
But then we encourage content that's showing more of the personality behind the image that's portrayed online. Because when you do display, because I'm doing this podcast, I'm not doing it for not your thoughts. I'm doing it for you. Because we're mates.
Yeah, of
I
course.
know who's behind it. I'm supporting you.
Yeah.
And the same thing with my business. I mean, people relate the business to me. They relate the business to who's behind it.
Yeah.
That's why they choose.
And that's
who they choose.
Yeah, I saw like a nice little post once. It was like a split fucking, and it was saying, is your branding a like business kind of product, or are you your branding? Do you know what I mean? And then it kind of went through like, hey, you should change the logo. You're more personable here, more professional here, like things like that. But it's
and you can
you're
kind of
like
blend,
a hybrid.
You can blend the two.
You
can blend the two.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's good. You can because you still keep the business page as the business page, but like just showing who's behind the brand is.
Yeah, because you are, as you said, producing also a service. So that has to be kind of personal, relational, comfortable.
Because you're still dealing with people at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not talking to a robot.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though we might move into that space soon. Who knows?
Yeah, straight out. Yeah.
I might hire a robot phone answering machine, like not robot from Back to the Future, but like.
Hello.
Yes, like full AI, like adapts to your voice.
Like it's you.
Even give it my voice.
That's gonna happen, bro. Yeah. That's gonna happen, bro. Oh my god.
I'm actually talking to someone about it right now.
Episode or some shit.
I'm actually talking to someone right now about it. Yeah. He's developing an AI software that picks up phone calls and literally listens to the client. Even with like food orders, you can listen to food orders and ask them, was that all? Was this kind of the thing that you wanted to add? And like repeats their name back to them. Like it's so cool.
I'm honestly excited. I don't want no chip in my brain, but and I hate that I'm like jumping on board, but like jump on or get left behind in terms of AI. This is super intelligence. I don't want to admit it. I'm dying. I'm like, I'm a human. But no, AI is here. AI is the intelligence. Do you know what I mean? So I'm fucking scared of it, but I'm also keen to have, and and obviously companies can hijack their like position behind AI. Obviously, you saw the Google thing. No. Okay, so this is what's it called? Oh fuck! I'm just gonna like reference some guy who spoke about it.
Yeah.
But long short of it is, and without getting too political, essentially there was like very clear biases, woke biases of the AI. So people like the AI, the Google AI, sorry, that they put out.
Yeah.
And basically, like, if you say, like, show me, like, Germans from the 1890s or whatever, it'd be like a black woman or something. Like, it'd be, they added, like, diversity
Okay.
in, like, areas it wasn't meant to be. I think the example was, like, the American forefathers or something. But anyway, they were putting races where they weren't meant to be. Point I was trying to make there, sorry, was I understand that it can be influenced, but I'm pretty keen to have, like, almost like an intellectual crutch where the AI kind of gets you and you're like, hey, can you, like, you know what? Like, bro, for such a, like, anti-vaxxer that I am or whatever, I use Hey Siri more than I should. Like, hey Siri, can you play this? Hey Siri, set a reminder. So I'm excited to have, like, something that actually makes you compute a bit better. Do you know what I mean?
It does those processes for you that you don't have to.
It's a computational process,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and especially, those computational processes, like, sometimes you just feel like that's why the calculator was so perfect. You know, a lot of people back in the days, they used to count everything in their heads. Now it's on a calculator or on paper.
Yeah, but I feel like there has to be an importance for retaining the part of your brain that does the maths. I'm not saying I'm good at maths, but there's a part of your brain that does that. And we're like,
of course,
and if you don't work that neuron, the pathway gets loose, and then like you're not working that area. Maybe you're still critical thinking in other ways, so you technically don't need maths in particular. But I can't imagine losing the ability of like maths is like a perfect example, bro, and rely on the what's it called? Calculator. Fucking
the elevator.
The elevator. I can't imagine that being good, bro. What the fuck? Goodness gracious.
That's funny.
But yeah, man, no, it should be fucking. Are you keen for the AI? Oh yes. Are you threatened by AI?
Am I threatened by AI?
You personally, but also as a business, because especially in the media
Personally,
realm,
I mean, I hope a robot doesn't attack me for any reason. I'm not going to harass it in any sort of way. But it's so far for the business, it's been really good. I mean, we haven't got into video AI editing software, because many reasons, obvious reasons for that, just at the moment. But for other things like ChatGPT, just writing emails or just logical thinking, like you said, computational thinking, I should say. Because a lot of the time I feed my creative ideas into it.
Yeah, nice.
And I say, just structure this for me.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's more so just for the typing, just instead of typing everything out, it creates it for me in a couple of seconds.
That's true.
And then I go back in there, change the words,
and
copy
you're
and
still
paste, move a
seeing
few
the
things.
structure as it is. You know what I mean? So that's what structure is meant to look like. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a visual person too. So when I see things, it makes it easier for me to then start working on that.
Yeah.
And if it's a blank page in front of me, it's hard for me to spit it out.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
AI helps in a lot of that sense.
Yeah. I think No, sorry, go on. No, yeah. Is there a fear that it's taking jobs? I think that's where I was kind of going with that. I don't think that's true. Not just specifically in your industry, but I guess opening up the conversation a bit more.
That's the thing. It definitely will. I mean, just like when the Industrial Revolution happened, that took a lot of jobs but created a lot of jobs. I mean, it's the same. It's the same sense in where, technology is going to take a lot of jobs, just as it's done since the 2000s until now. It's taken a lot of jobs, but people just move on to other jobs. Like we develop as a society, we adapt to, what's going to be the next advancement for us.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's only we need to stay wary that just because it presents as intelligent doesn't mean we should and that was what the Google example was rely on it for eventually truth almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
that's
already
the
now
scary
we
thing
can't
about the
trust what's
internet.
on social media. Like
even Google, man.
Sorry, that just slipped past everyone.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yep, now we can't tell if that's real or not.
Even with
I'm
Google,
still drooling on
it's
myself.
the same thing. Like, this all started, I don't know if it started before COVID, but during COVID, this when there's all this misinformation, or not so misinformation, but the limitation of what's available to your relevant search. I mean, like, let's say, for example, you search a particular health study.
Yeah.
and you've seen the study before, but you search it into Google and it just won't feed that to you.
Yeah.
But then if you search it into a different platform, it'll give you exactly what you asked for. But because it was against the agenda at the time, it just wouldn't put that as the first result for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So
no, it was very clear.
the limitation of information, like that's what's scary.
Yeah, during COVID, I started using Quant. I think it's like a French search engine that everything is on private, and it doesn't save it. And genuinely, I couldn't find it on Google. All right, I'll try Quant, and it was usually there. You know what I mean? So
that's exactly what I'm referring to.
That was very interesting. And now I'm using one. It's an app called Free Spoke, I think, and it's really, really good because it's a bit too American political for my interest, but it's still cool to have there. But you click on it, and there's like a politics section or just news section. And whatever the headline is, you scroll down, it's got left. It's like a left-leaning paper, the way they've structured it in the article. You swipe, it's like left, this one's right. This
so
one's
you can see both
central,
sides.
And they've interfaced it so easy. You scroll down, name, swipe left, and it's basically like left, right. And I'm like, and you just read the different captions. It's like Lord Trump, blah, 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 or Orange Man. You know, not that extent. They're actually a lot more closer than I thought they were, to be honest. But it essentially, see how I pretended there's left versus right.
Yeah.
To be honest, all the news articles were like relatively titled the same, to be honest. But I didn't click on any of them. But anyway, that's another one that's very good in that regard as well.
Nice.
Which is crazy that now we need to, and we're talking about it normal, like have to look for alternative medias that don't restrict basic information. That's fucking crazy. Like, and we're literally there at the moment.
That's honestly the scariest thing about media and just and information in general.
Yeah.
Like we really felt the effect of that last
and that's why it's weird as well that like I don't know, you can have a real life voice, but you almost need like a virtual voice as well. And you know what I mean? I just can't.
That's so true.
It's so weird now because we're the information, like we're in this room. No one is in this room, but they're in this room, all in that virtual world. Like it's actually fucking happening, but it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
as a kid, I never would have thought I'd be behind a camera like this to promote my business.
Yeah.
Didn't think that
or in
at
front.
all.
I got you. But yeah, exactly. I don't know.
The way you just like under your breath, you're like, I got you.
Good, bad, I need more criticism.
It was good. It was just funny the way you said it. You were just like, hey, I got you. I swear, when you replay that, just listen to the way you said it. It was part of the conversation. You're like, and then you had like a little. Your laugh went to like, I gotcha.
Analyze me while I'm here, bro. Holy shit! I hope you're wrong. I hope it just.
Maybe I saw that differently. Who knows? We'll see in the playback.
We'll see in post. Straight out, but no, man. I don't know, and that's honestly a part of the whole podcasting. I'm fucking tripping out about, but like putting opinions online and shit. But
because you got to be careful of what you say sometimes. I mean, you can't.
But yes and no. Like, you might slip up and say something wrong, but if you're uncertain, say when you're uncertain. So you have room for abstract, and you're like, hey, you know what I mean? Like,
it's
not my
that.
thoughts. I'm not even memeing the name. Like, I'm almost like
true.
Yeah, but it's genuinely not my thoughts. So it's comes up. Yeah, this kind of makes sense. Oh, no, it doesn't. Fuck it. Oh, yeah, that's locked into the model for now.
You honestly have to choose, are you going to be politically correct or be yourself and cop it a little bit?
Well, I got the name or the Instagram bio from Eric Weinstein, who's an economist, and he has a quote that says, he just says his 4 most valuable things are truth, meaning, fitness, grace. And I think that's important. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of trying to apply that. On the Instagram, I removed grace because I'm like, that doesn't have a fucking zang to it. But basically, that's what I'm going to stick to. Those are like not my pillars, but I really appreciate those kind of things in a conversation. So I don't know. I'm never going to be politically correct, but I'm already starting to realize I'm having to live out. And I just keep copying Chris Will's words, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to, but basically, he quoted someone who said, what is it? Someone got off the internet because they were starting to feel obligated to live out their private life the way they presented in public. You know what I mean? So I'm not, and at the moment I am consistent morally, you know what I mean? But like there will be a point like, like confession. I had KFC and had Subway once, you know what I mean? But I was very like, no, Palestine, Israel. So I'm already like, that's like a confession now. I was like there, I'm like, but you know what I mean? That's not a big deal. I get it. You live in Australia, like, sure.
Yeah.
But I said that, so it was caught in time as that. Time has passed, and it's like, I won't ever be politically correct, but like, I'm gonna try to be honest. Sorry, and on that, I've noticed now, in line with that, I need to now, and I love this part about it, just be respectful of everyone, because I might have anyone on. Do you know what I mean? So, and I always was. I guess I'm not fake changing my personality, but now I'm like publicly and privately, as I have been, but now publicly obligated to just be respectful. You know what I mean? And I kind of, that's a positive byproduct of not having that public-private kind of.
You always got to be careful of not be careful, but uphold your reputation in the way that you want it. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to be loose and do things that people wouldn't consider appropriate in public, then that's the person you're going to be. Like it's just a decision you got to make. Yeah. I mean, there's some things I wouldn't do out in public, especially when I'm at work or you know how it is. I mean, especially when it becomes when it's online, that's when it's a bit worrying because once it's out there, it's out there. Like even if you delete it off your page, it's been out there, so it's circulating anywhere.
But
who knows where it is?
The reason I'm not worried as well about it, personally, about this podcast is because anything I say, I know I've given it thought. Even if it's off the cuff. You know what I mean? Or I know I've put the reasonable structures in place for anything that I say to have a bit of a reasonable framework behind it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't think I'm ever going to say anything so outlandish that I'll surprise myself, unless I'm going for like a controversial shock factor, and I'm like, ooh, man. Yeah. I should.
But at the same time, yourself, you're a really good person. Like you got a really good heart. You know, what I mean, that's why. I try to. That's why we're friends too.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Like you know your moral beliefs. So
exactly. Yeah.
And you behave in that way. So that's why, honestly, we vibe. Like I feel the same way. I respect that out of you, and people respect that out of me. You know, I hope.
Exactly.
Because
of course.
We're just, very direct but honest with everything that we do and say.
Yeah, it's going into.
You don't feel like you're going to be doing something wrong because you're still honest with how you came about it.
Thank you. Yeah. And I feel like so there's someone else who I wanted to get on, but he's a very and I worded him up. He said yes. I don't know if he's going to. Yeah. He's a very just interesting character. You know what I mean? But like socially weird, interesting. But I'm like in a social setting, he's got people like staring. Okay. So I went straight up to this guy. I'm like, hey, podcast.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But,
sounds cool.
Yeah. So
I'm interested to watch that now.
No, it's good. But fuck, where was I going with that though? I did have a point. Weird, interesting. What were we saying? Sorry.
I think we were talking about like reputation or like online image or what was it?
Sorry, no, yes. And he said no, you know what I mean? But then I'm like, just watch. So I started talking, you know what I mean? And then like kind of got him comfortable. And something that I said in it that I think helped like change his mind is, I'm not trying to get a gotcha. And this is how you should be in every relationship. Any type of interaction is go into it with a good faith. You know what I mean? So I'm like, and I kind of presented that to him in that way, like, yeah, respect, go in with good faith, good intentions. And like, I just don't see how that can go wrong at all. And that's what's helping me create these kind of connections as well, where this guy, when I kind of moved in that direction, he was more willing to jump on, you know what I mean? And then like...
Yeah, because he doesn't really know you.
Exactly, yeah. But it's kind of... exactly, yeah. But like, anyway. So
so is he like a controversial character or...
So, all right.
Is he just interesting online?
He doesn't have any social media presence at all. Zero social media presence. But I promise you not, I'd call him a famous figure. Like, I told my siblings, and they were like, what? I'm not even joking. I swear to you. But this is, I don't know if it extends past... Oh, wait, I can't even... That's very specific. But, like, I'm probably going to mute that. But I don't know if it extends past, like... It's very small. But anyway. Interesting character. But, yeah, man, this is, I guess... I am enjoying that, man. The interactions as well.
Yeah, of course. You get to meet people. You get to have a good time.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, yes.
Who's about to cook? Let him cook.
What are your affiliations with the Chinese Communist Party?
What?
I'm sorry. I've seen you in China that once. I'm like, what's he doing there? Like,
I swear, I had the same messages from my friends. They're like, hey, you better be careful over there, mate. I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, what's so bad about this place?
Like, I don't know. I just hear like, yeah, ping. I don't know. I feel like he's a strong presence.
You said that's so good.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, sadly, too good. But
No, to be honest, man, I had no idea about the place before I went. Not
Yeah.
that it was like absolutely no idea, but
Yeah.
I never really researched it or looked into it or thought anything bad or listened to, obviously the Western media's a bit fucking cooked, to be honest
well,
about
you opened up to me that it's even accessible. That's honestly why I was mind blown. Like,
Yeah,
so-
really.
Yeah, so it was like pretty interesting.
That was pretty interesting to me too. I mean, the visa application was a bit of a bitch just because of how busy the place is. Took a couple of weeks, but it was like I just went there with the
So just
blank slate about
Nice,
my perspective on them. I had no idea. Obviously, with Western media, I know being an Arab, Lebanese, they love to downplay people that they just want to give a bad rep for. So China's one of them. The Middle East is one of them.
Yeah, true.
So I just never listened to Western media.
So
Anyway,
do you
went there.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you actually? I don't know much. Do you know much about the politics or politics in general? And like, is it communist? And what does communist even mean?
To be honest, I don't know what it means in the sense of like how the country would look if it's run.
like how's it
I
structured?
mean, you see the definitions between communist and capitalist countries, and they're not too different because what I experienced there just felt like a capitalist country. I mean,
But you know what? Sorry, I think a part of that is everything. They're both now hybrids of each other, so they're both mixed.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I think the most I know about China is like, obviously there's no. What is it? I don't know. Is it true? There's no opposing government. It's just the government. Yeah,
okay.
that's right. Yeah.
Well, that would, to be honest,
Yeah.
man, that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, and-
why are there two parties
Yeah,
to start
exactly.
with?
But like, because you have such a diverse population that not everyone's going to agree, maybe, or maybe that one size mold doesn't fit all. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I just find it makes more sense. Like if you're going to run a company, let's say for example, a big company, let's say you got 100,000 people
Fuck,
working
you went
for
there.
you.
Good point. Yeah.
Imagine having two boards, two different teams opposing each other all the time because one side wants this, one side wants that. Who gives a shit? Just give the authority to one board. People vote the board in.
But we were earlier talking about the beauty of duality. Bang bang. Where does that come in? Straight out.
Come in where?
Well,
Like,
don't
in
you
which
need
part of it?
duality in the structure of things as well? Like,
Yeah, but
where's the duality in China's fucking all hell's yet fucking thing?
Oh, I don't know about that, but like an example that I was referring to, like having one board
You're right.
to
That's
run
true.
everything.
No, you're right. Sorry. Yeah.
The people that are in that board, there will be duality amongst them in the way that they think, the things they want,
True.
the outcomes they want,
True.
just duality in everything. So, but duality of duality now it's just become like quadruple of and then
branches.
and even in Australia we've got so many bloody parties and political teams to choose from. It's just like what's the point of it?
And none of them represent me
Yeah.
either. Like, so I don't
If
know what's
one
happening there.
is going to take care of everything, you can, at least there'll be a different system in. If you are going to run it with one, there'll be a different system as to how the people have a say. So you can create a different structure on how people have a say in
or their
what
influence on
happens.
it. Yeah. But we can't deny the fact that China is authoritarian. Like there is a element of, and we're moving there as well because of surveillance culture. But the social credit system, that is,
Yeah, I don't
oppressive.
think that's everywhere because where I was, I didn't
but it
experience
exists.
that. I didn't experience like firsthand. I didn't see like on anyone's phone that I was with, or I don't even know what it was meant to look like.
Yeah, but are you saying it doesn't exist, or you're not
I don't
sure?
know. I just don't think it's all over the country. I think it's in certain parts.
And then the argument for it is, how do you, you have to almost have that when you grow as big as China to control on a population level.
And
why does control assume, and I'm not assuming China isn't a bad actor, but control assumes bad actor when it shouldn't as well.
I didn't find anything bad over there. To be honest, I found it like as a very forward thinking and forward moving strategy on like growing their economy.
Yeah.
Obviously I did ask questions when I was there just to get a better understanding of how the place does work. And one of my friends over there did tell me that, I'm not sure when it was, maybe 10 years ago or, sorry, not 10 years ago.
Not the Taiwan.
No. Just when China really started to boost up and become a really strong economic power, the years before, leading up to that, their leader did tell them that he wants the country to move forward, and he just wants to be a stronger economic power, so they can have influence on other people in the world. They don't want to be bullied, because China's been bullied during their history. They've had a lot of invaders. They've had different countries come in and try to claim their land, and
such is war.
yeah. So that was his philosophy on encouraging the people to be better altogether, and the actions that they've done, or just
But economically better.
Yeah, so just what I saw over there in terms of like the infrastructure, the roads, the buildings, it was insane on how efficient it was.
Do you think they might be, and I'm not expecting you to know because they're fucking heavy questions, but based on that, do you think they're morally better? Like, did you notice any ethical or moral differences?
I actually really love the way that they think.
Towards work though, yeah?
Towards work, towards one another. Okay. There's like, where I was in Shenzhen City, there was like no crime. There's no homelessness. Like it's just, I don't know. It was so perfect.
But hold on. But fucking media boss man, rich man fucking coming. Not to reference that movie, but what's the one where they go to North Korea and then they're like, there's like fruit stands, but it's all papers. Not mocking that, but like, point I'm making is surely you went through the best parts as well.
Yeah, I did travel to the countryside too. Like I did see how, they call it like farm areas. I did see how the countryside people live. I mean, it's just a bit filthier. It's like it's similar to like when you go to Thailand, Bali. It wasn't too different to that. They got their buildings. They got areas that look like swamps. Like it's just normal part of countryside living. Just as in Lebanon in the villages, kind of looks the same. But yeah, like the city was insane because it is surveillance cameras. No one does anything wrong, and I think because they're so used to it, they're so used to being a good person because. Obviously, that's multifaceted. That they want to be a good person because of their upbringing, but they're also scared of getting in trouble. When we were in Melbourne with my Chinese friends, I remember I was crossing the road in the city on Swanston Street, just walking. I didn't wait for the red light.
Jaywalking.
Yeah, I jaywalked in the city.
What?
And I turned around. I'm like, where the fuck's my Chinese friend? Did he get run over? And I look back, and he's still at the lights. He's like, Eddie, what are you doing, man? Like.
Illegal.
Yeah, he's like, you're not going to get in. He's like, you're not scared to get in trouble.
Pointing at him, guys.
So yeah, like he was worried about getting in trouble for jaywalking. I was like, dude, you're not going to get in trouble for that. Come on, let's go. But in China, it makes sense. I mean, I didn't see a single speck of rubbish in the city. Like it was so clean.
Yeah. And a point. So I've got a Chinese friend who has lived here quite a bit, but he's very quirky fella. Early days told him to jump on the pod. I haven't spoke to him since. I might ask him. But he raised the point to me that he was like, not you people.
Yeah.
But like he's very Australian, but he's also he's just Chinese. You know what I mean? So I'm like give me the communist mindset. What is it? Because he's definitely a hybrid.
Yeah, like how does it work?
How's it work? Yeah. And he's basically like, Australia just isn't built to think long term. He was like, how's the government going to think 10 years when they're fighting for 4 years? Yeah. Like, we're not built to think long term.
That's such a good point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's like, China, they're allowed to have 10-year plans, 15-year plans without the threat of basically
a new party coming in.
Yeah, like China's the podcast, we're the real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, that's a big jump, but yeah, they get the whole context, the bigger picture.
And that's, I can reference that back to the example I mentioned earlier about a corporate company. I mean, imagine even in your business, where you work, it's like the different managerial positions, the supervisor positions, all of those positions, they're influenced in one way or another by the people beneath them or the people that report to them. If they're going to have a short-term view on achieving, for example, saving money on the next project with less material costs or whatever it is, they're going to get a bonus check for saving a certain margin.
Of course. Yeah.
So the same thing with politics. If that leader that's in there at the time, if he's got a limited time or he knows that he has to make a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time, that's his own goal. That's the only goal he's got, is to make as much money as he can in that position of influence, that position of power. So what's his reason to think of a 10-year plan?
Agreed,
because the benefit will only come to him in 10 years.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
he's going to
Which
say...
he might not be there to enjoy.
Oh, he definitely won't be there
Yeah,
because he's only limited to, let's say, for example, 4 years, if it is the Prime Minister, whoever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, like his mindset is, fuck you all. I'm making money while I can to feed my family, which is a fair view.
Or get the next vote.
It's a totally fair view, you know.
Even if they're all right, let's assume they have the best interest in mind of Australia. Yeah, I don't believe that. Let's assume that. Yeah, even if they did, they'd still need things that get the short-term views while trying to hold on to the long-term view to make it to the next one to better the country. So they're now playing two games to try better the country as opposed to having the ability, which again I don't believe they want the best in mind, but to do the most good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Just look at our roads, for example. Like, how long's the M80 been under construction?
Yeah.
Just now they started with the North East Link. Like, it's taken fucking ages. This should have been done in 2000s.
Yeah. And, like, to think that only... It makes sense, as you mentioned, my work, your work. But, yeah, if we're doing a program, we have the end goal, and then you need to reverse engineer the procedures so you can go months, weeks, what am I doing today? You know what I mean? So it's literally... you have to go backwards. You have to work from product.
Yeah, you take one step back to take 2 steps forward.
To be able to think long term. Otherwise, split my work 3 years in half, and now I only have the ability to plan for half.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what
right.
I mean? Like it's.
I mean, that's why we pride ourselves in the way that we've taken care of the business. Like we've always looked at it long term. So everything that we've made in the last 7 years, it's always been reinvested back in. Yeah, like that's the only way that it was going to grow. But because we had the long term view, like. Yeah, maybe now we've started to see a bit of money in our pockets, kind of thing.
So we love Xi Jinping. Please sponsor me, China. Do they do that?
I think they'll get your account banned if they find this video.
Shit. I thought this was good PR, honestly. So it actually does.
And listen, that was another thing actually. I was really interested to figure out, I'd like to learn more about their social media. So you know how they sold TikTok to America and everywhere else.
They sold it to them.
Oh yeah, I think they made it, didn't they?
They made it. Sold it to them.
Isn't TikTok a Chinese thing?
Yeah, how'd they sell it to them? What do you mean? You said they sold it to them.
Well, yeah, I think it's because they don't use TikTok in China.
How do you sell it though? Isn't it just Isn't it just like TikTok's a company and everyone can use it? How do you sell it? What do you mean?
Yeah, but someone's got to own it.
Yeah, and it's not a Chinese person.
No.
Oh, it was though?
Yeah.
And so sorry, that's sorry,
that's what I meant,
me.
yeah,
So
that's
they
right.
actually did sell it.
Yeah, and they don't use it in China.
No, is that new?
No, I don't know. So
No,
maybe they don't.
I'm pretty sure what I understood
I just thought it was a Chinese-made thing. That's what I mean.
So my understanding, and I guess abstract, we obviously very clearly do your own research on these topics.
I don't even know.
Fine.
Yeah.
But my understanding was they allow it, but they had it wasn't brain rot that we experienced. You know what I mean?
They've got a completely different,
or they literally
different
have like
app.
I think I thought it. Oh, okay, my bad. I thought
got
it
a
was
different
TikTok,
one,
but it was what's it called? Like they had time constraints on it
They
as well,
do, yeah.
and it like every now and then instead of like something weird on your feed, it ends up being like something like a motivational or like I want to be an astronaut or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it puts like educational stuff in front of children.
Yeah.
It limits the amount of time they can spend on it.
But it's not called TikTok. It's called something else.
Yeah, it's called Douyin.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
There you go. Fuck. But
Yeah,
that's the parent company
it looks the
TikTok.
same and stuff.
Yeah, but it's the parent. It's the
I don't know.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. It must have the same algorithm, which there is no parent company because it's all just the government.
But yeah, like you see, I'm not sure if you've seen videos on the culture over there on how many people are like you've seen factories of people, like places that are centers that are as big as shopping centers of people just in a little cubicle with their camera and their ring light set up, and they're doing like ads for little brands of like makeup brands, whatever it is. There's like hundreds and hundreds of people in the same building.
Wow.
Or just like renting a little space and making these videos, and it looks so scary.
I would be, I could imagine. And I would be, to be honest, very surprised if what you're saying is right, that they sold TikTok to the US.
Well, yeah, I don't know if they've sold it, but I think they
still...
Sorry, they would still own it because America have always had the issues with them tapping into the
exactly.
the content.
I thought they're now planning to ban it, is what's happening in the US. And now people are like, why didn't you do it?
Yeah, because Trump have access to it. Yeah.
There's like this is like a whole
well, that makes
branch of the
sense. They
internet
probably still own it.
Yeah, I don't. But it's like usually it's like I don't want to dive in, but it's You know how everything like right wing is left wing and left wing. You know how everything's all over the shop. Apparently, I can't remember who the fuck is what, but now the group that shouldn't be mad about it is mad about it. The fact that they're trying to ban it.
Okay.
I don't know who the fuck's what though, but yeah. Fucking TikTok. Oh, sorry. The reason I say that is because I'd be incredibly surprised if they went to sell it, because so many US influencers are dependent on it. So they have influences over the minds of the people who control the minds of the people in the US. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I can't imagine them knowing how powerful information is. Giving up so many people's sources of income, and it circles back to the fucking this warehouse of the people you're looking at.
Honestly, if you want to travel to the future, go to Shenzhen City.
Oh God, no.
I swear to God, that's literally what the future looks like.
Hello.
The city looks awesome. It's really pretty, really cool. But if you want like a taste of what the future looks like, I literally experienced that there.
Yeah, wow.
It's so advanced.
That's awesome.
It's so cool.
That's awesome. Have you been
so cool? But yeah, you do have the things that worry you too. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's the way our society is advancing. I mean,
I love that, but I hate that, to be honest.
Exactly.
Like
you said, even the duality of life itself, like it's got to advance, but there's got to be some things that we got to take away from it. You know,
that's awesome, man.
It's just the cycles of life and the things that make it happen. They just go on forever.
Yeah.
Like you can't control that. And if we are advancing as a people, we are gonna sacrifice things that we didn't have as a people back. During our time.
Exactly.
It's like our parents now, they've got access to the internet. They didn't have that. Their parents didn't have that.
Yeah, we forget the word technology doesn't just mean computer and laptop.
Dude, it's crazy that
technology is a all-encompassing word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I still find it so crazy that I can pinch a photo and zoom into it.
Of course.
Like, I'd never imagined that as a kid. I always used to say to my siblings, like, oh, imagine I can just zoom in on this. Yeah. Or, imagine I could touch that. And imagine the PlayStation 2 was like a touchscreen.
Yeah, and
that's happening now.
Exactly. And even if you strip it back a bit further, even the mundane is an advanced technology. Your fork is insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's literally a technology, and now it's just fork. Like, will AI ever be fork? Will it ever be paperclip?
Fork off.
Straight out, man. But I think that's probably a very nice note to end on, man. Came full circle. The beauty, the duality of life. I'm keen for the future, man. I'm keen to keep watching it play out, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
And that was good. I like it.
Well, hopefully, maybe we'll revisit this, do round 3.
Yes, man. Oh, wait, no, round 2. Man, but honestly, think about how much more comfortable. I really enjoyed this conversation. I'm keen to hear it back.
Me too.
But compare that to the first, man. The first, I was jittery because I genuinely had a lot of technical difficulties, and then
we figured them out.
But I was just in a heightened state, and that's honestly a big part of it. Like, I didn't honestly thank you because it was unprofessional of me, honestly.
But it wasn't, man. I understand.
As a friend, you were just so patient. You're like, bro, it was a good chat. Down for round 2. It was just thank you. But like,
you're welcome, man. Like, thanks for putting this together, and being someone in the media industry, I totally understand. Technical difficulties.
And that's what it was. Yeah,
like especially in our first few years, man, it was fucking horrible. Like,
and it showed in it though. The anxiety to me was like showing. And
at least it was just me, man. Like, this shit's happened with us with like big companies.
True,
it happens in front of a crowd. So
fuck it. Well, that's the reality of it. Because any art you do, you're putting yourself out there. You know what I mean? But like, and that shows for you as well. You know what I mean? It's like Anyway, so you need to be in the right mindset, and it definitely felt like the right mind state this time around, man. So
I'm good. I'm glad.
Honestly, Eddie, I hope we do a round 3, man. We'll just we'll keep it flowing. But stay tuned, I guess. I don't know. Do I need to start doing outros, bro?
Outros, yeah, why not?
Not outros, more like don't forget to subscribe situations. You know what I mean?
Like, share and subscribe.
But I don't want to be like, hey, like, share and subscribe. I don't want to become that.
Smash that like button.
Seriously, smash the like button. No, but it's honestly the good thing, and I genuinely do this, is the podcast I like, or just that are all right. I actually do hit the bell on Spotify, as cringe as the word bell is.
Yeah.
So if you do like it, just hit follow, stay tuned.
Subscribe to the notifications.
And get ready for round 3. Thank you so much, man.
No worries, man.
I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
See you guys.